All right, so we're doing this week's Torah portion reading. We're in Parashah Vayishlach or Vayishlach, beginning with Genesis chapter 32, verse 3 or 4, depending on what Bible you have, and going to Genesis chapter 36, verse 43. The Haftarah, or the is actually what it should be. The Haftarah is going to be Hosea chapter 11, all right, verses 7 through 12, and verse 7. Hosea chapter 11, verse 7 through Hosea 12 and 12, as well as Obadiah, the whole chapter, verse 1 through verse 21. And then from the Besorah is Matthew chapter 2, verse, the name of the Torah portion, Vayishlach or Vayishlach, is taken from the first part of the portion for the week. Yah, Aleph, before him to his brother Esau. All right. So now we start with the reading in the English Bibles, chapter 32, verse 4. You're going to read from until verse 13, which is the the overview of this is Yaakov was on his way home to his father, Yatzak. As a sign of peace, Jacob sent messengers to Esau, with the message of peace and reconciliation. So Esau came out to greet Jacob with a troop, an army of 400 men. Jacob was distressed. Then he divided his /4 groups, allowing one group to run just in case Esau decided to attack them. So he divided the family, his group, his people into two different groups. All right. Then he prayed and he called upon Yahweh's promise to protect him.
Thus have I sojourned with the dawn and stayed here until now. And I have oxen and asses, flocks, and manservants and woman servants, and I have sent to tell my.
Put it down.
And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, we came to thy brother Esau, and also he cometh to meet thee, and 400 men with him, flocks and herds, and the camels, and to the two ends. And Jacob said, O Elohim, my father Isaac, Yahweh, which saidest unto me, return unto thy country of the least of all the mercies and of all the truth, which thou hast showed unto thy servant, for with my staff I passed over this Jordan, and now I am become two bands. Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my least with will.
Least he will.
Least he will come and smite me, and the mother with the children. And thou saidest, I will surely do thee good and make thy seed.
So we already gave the overview of this, all right? Jacob had some men with him, but Esau came out with 400 men. So Jacob is worried because he's thinking that Esau is about to attack him, the women, and the children, and plunder him. All right. Now in the second aliyah, like waves. All right, one herd at a time. So that night when Jacob crossed the Jabbok River with his family, all right, he encountered an angel in his thigh, and it made him limp. When the sun was rising, Jacob started to limp. And the angel wanted to go, and Jacob was like, "No, I'm not gonna let you go until you bless me." So the angel blessed Jacob and told Jacob that your name is no longer, you have the power, all right? Which Yasharallah is, he's a ruler with power, or he's a ruler of the power. All right, so that's a summary. So let's go ahead and read verses 14 through 30 real quick, please.
In Genesis chapter 32, verse 14. 200 she-goats and 20 he-goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 milch camels with their colts, 40 kine and 10 bulls, 20 she-asses and 10 foals. He divided them into the hand of his servants. Every drove by themselves, and said to his servants, "Pass over before me." And he commanded the foremost, saying, "When Esau my brother meeteth me, and asketh me, saying, Whose art thou? Whither thou goest? And whose are these before thee? Thou shalt always say, but thou shalt say, They be thy servants Jacob, the second and the third, and all that follow the groves, saying, On this manner shall you speak unto Esau when you find him. And say ye, Moreover, behold, thy servant Jacob is behind us. For he said, I will appease him with his face, peradventure he will accept me. So went the present over before him, and lodged himself that night, and himself lodged that night in the company.
Mm-hmm.
And she rose up that night, and took his 2 wives, and his 2 women servants, and his 11 sons, and passed over the ford of Jabbok. And he took them, and sent them over the brook, and sent over, and there wrestled a man with him unto the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his hand. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let you go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Yasharallah. For as a prince thou hast power on high and with men, and hast prevailed. And Jacob asked him, and said, Tell me, I pray, thy name. And he said, Wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And
Okay,
Jacob,
so that's it. Verse 30. Okay, so Jacob's fighting with the Mala'ak from Yahweh, and he did a move on Jacob, and Jacob's thigh got knocked out of joint, dislocated, as we would say, dislocated his leg. So he had to go through a lot of pain with that. He kept holding on to the angel. He kept holding on, fighting with a dislocated shoulder. So he knew this was a divine messenger from the Most High. He wasn't just fighting all night with somebody just to, like, man, what you come for? You can't. Because remember, he had the dream. The angels coming up and down with him. All right, so he knew that this was a messenger from the Most High. a mala'ak. So he's like, okay, why you fight me, bro? Give me the message. Bless me or something. Why you fighting me, man? So he's fighting him so that Jacob can understand the fact that you have to go through a lot of pain, get knocked out of joint to get this blessing that the Most High wants you to have. So, but he gave him a spiritual blessing also. His name was no longer Ya'iqwab, which means he got game. He can grab your heel, make you trip you up. Now your name is going to be, here's a prince of power. Now I don't got to do it like this, with nobody seeing me. I can do it out in the open now, with power. I fought you in the open as a mala'ak, a spiritual being. Fought with the messenger from the Most High, wrestled with him, right? Some people may try to put some type of metaphorical meaning when he wrestled with him, whatever. There's a physical confrontation, all right? So he said, you got to go through this in order to get to the next level. So you no longer your Ya'iqwab, where you had to beat your brother Esau by tricking him, all right? He said, you got the power. You understand? You got the power now. And so when he got the power, he can just be upfront and open about it. So even though Esau got blessed with the sword, Jacob took it. All right, go ahead. So let's go into chapter 31. Verse 31 to 33:5.
Genesis chapter 32, verse 31. And as he passed over Peniel, the sun rose upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. Therefore the children of Yashar'allah eat not of the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh.
All that Yahweh said,
what we doing here?
What we doing here. I continue.
Genesis chapter 33, verse 1. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau came, and with him 400 men.
400.
And he divided the children unto Leah and unto Rachel and unto the two handmaids. And he put the handmaids there, and Rachel and Joseph hindermost.
In the back.
And he passed over before them,
Went over.
and bowed himself to the ground 7 times.
No, go ahead.
And he lifted up his eyes and saw the woman and the children, and said, who are those with thee? And he said, the children of Allah, which Elohim hath graciously given thy servant. Wisdom
says, surely a man's gift maketh room for him. Bring him before princes. The scripture says a gift in secret pacifies anger, and a reward in the bosom strong wrath. So Jacob is applying wisdom. He's not applying brute force. He's applying the power. So when he got his name, now he's applying the power of wisdom to the situation. So even though he has this to his brother Esau, even though Esau is his enemy, Esau says he's going to kill him. Jacob is still bowing down to Esau because it's going to get him through whatever he had to go through. A lot of people say, well, if I was in slavery, I would have done such and such. Now you would have bowed down just like Jacob bowed down to Esau to stay alive. Because if you didn't bow down to Esau, you was going to be the end of a sword or the end of a barrel of a gun. And that's why Jacob is bowing down, to humble himself. Because there's no shame and humility if you know what the Most High is leading you into. Not going to be no shame in being humble. Because you know that the Most High is controlling the show, so he humbled himself to Esau. All right? So now let's go into the third aliyah. Over the third aliyah, this shows that how we don't eat the sciatic nerve of the kosher animals just because of what happened with Jacob with the wrestling. Esau got there, and Jacob was bowing down to him, showing him respect. And Esau ran toward Jacob and hugged him, and they cried. So Esau, the so-called white man, the so-called white man, He forgave Jacob for what Jacob had done to him. Remember, Jacob stole the blessing. He didn't steal the birthright, but he stole the blessing. And Esau was hot about that because Jacob was wrong for what he did. So Jacob sent gifts before him to soften his brother, like a lot of costly gifts, mainly dealing with the animals and stuff too. And then he showed his family, this is my family, man, the Most High, to soften his heart. So then he said, you know what, I'm not gonna kill you, man. So he cried and he hugged, man, that's my brother, I love him. So Esau had love for us. Esau had love for Jacob. But over the years, his heart began to grow cold and evil toward us. Even when it was growing evil toward us, though, we still had a small number of Edomites that loved and liked a lot and helped the causes of so-called North American Indians, tribe of Gad, so-called Black Americans, tribe of Judah. They still helped all the tribes of Israel to get free from the oppression of the other white tribes, the other white people, and it was a small remnant that would still help us. The most popular, of course, being who? John Brown. At the Harper's Ferry Rebellion that tried to lead an insurrection with guns and rifles against the people in Harper's Ferry, Virginia, to take over the town and free all the slaves. He was like Nat Turner, except he was white, killed everybody involved. All right. So next Aliyah, the fourth Aliyah, verses 6 through 20. Now, this fourth Aliyah is gonna be made him accept the gifts that he sent. So Esau like, yo, I could walk with you to go home if you want me to. And Jacob's like, nah, I don't want you to go on with me, man. I'm cool. I don't want you rolling on this trip with me. Very strategic because you got to go into a small name, Sukkoth from the booth, as a foreshadow of us departing away from oppression, which Jacob could have oppressed Jacob. Jacob could have been oppressed by Esau and dwelling in booths in the wilderness. Jacob built the booths for his animals. So that was on the outskirts of the city of Shechem. All right. Still belongs to us. Outside of Shechem. All right. Right? And he put up an altar to Yahweh. Shoot, the whole country belongs to us, of Israel. But the Most High kicked us out. All right. So let's go into the fourth Aliyah. Put that in and then knock on the door. I got it. Verse 6.
Then the handmaids came near, and they and their children, and they bowed themselves. And Leah also with her children came near and bowed themselves. And after came Joseph near. What meanest thou by all this drove which I met?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, these are to final grace. And
My Lord, Adanya, so you will be nice and gracious to me. Go ahead.
Esau said, I have enough, my brother. Keep that thou hast unto thyself.
Uh-huh.
And Jacob said, Nay, I pray thee, if I now have, he took it.
So yeah.
Journey, and let us go, and I will go before thee. And he said unto him, my Lord knoweth that the children are tender, and they all the flock will die. And then my Lord, I pray thee, pass over before his servant, and I will lead on softly, according as his cattle, as the cattle that goeth before me, and the children be able to see her.
Right.
And Esau said, let me now leave thee, son of the flock that are with me. And he said, what needeth it? Let me find grace in the sight of my Lord, so to see her. And Jacob journeyed to Succoth and built him an house, made booths for his cattle.
Building a house what?
Built him a house and made booths for his cattle.
Mm-hmm.
Succoth. And Jacob came to Shunem, a city of Shechem.
That's shalom, peace. Go ahead. From Padanaram.
And pitched his tent before the city. And he brought a parcel of a field where he had spread his tent in the hand of the children of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money. And he entered there, Elohi Israel.
So, Allah, Allahaya, Yasharallah. The power, Kalasharat, the bar Yahweh. Na'ishah wa nashama you in here. All right, so we see what happened in this chapter. This Parashah. All right, Esau showing mercy. He wanted to go with Jacob. Jacob built booths for his animals. Esau went back to Mount Seir. That goes into 36 and 9. Thus dwelt Esau on Mount Seir. All right, in the land of Edom. Thus dwelt Esau on Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. All right. So he dwelt in the mountainous areas. He liked dwelling in the mountains. That's why you got the Appalachian Mountains, you got the Rocky Mountains, you got the Caucasus Mountains. These are all mountains that are known for European so-called white people. They got the Swiss Alps. They like to go in the snow and ride down the snow with big sticks on their feet. Call them skis. All right. So like ski and all of that, and the mountains and the Swiss Alps and the Pyrenees. All right. They like to do on the mountains. That's why John's called Mountain Men. All right. They got a cartoon character called Captain Cave looking when they're in the cave hiding from somewhere, right? They're always hiding in caves and everything. All right. So anyway, that's the fourth portion. Now we're moving to the fifth one, chapter 1, verse 1 through 11. Jacob's daughter Dinah, she went into the city of Shechem, and she went to the crown prince of the city, which is Hamor. Now, people say that he abducted and raped her, but the scriptures don't say that. Scriptures say that he laid with her. My wife say, yeah, but y'all gotta get circumcised first. And everybody was agreeable. Then Levi, which is the Haitians, and Simeon, which is the Dominican, people from Dominican Republic, they went into the city after the men got circumcised. And when you get circumcised on your private part for men, a lot of times you feel weak afterwards and it hurts. So he said, well, we're going to go with body. After they made the agreement, so they broke the agreement, all right? They went in on the third day. Jacob was mad about what they did, and he said, well, now the other people are going to come in, the other Hamites, Canaanites that live in the area, they're going to come in and make war with us. So Jacob said, you know what? Let's travel and let's move on. Right, so he arrived in the land of Canaan in Beth-el. And number 11, please.
Genesis chapter 34, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, and she loved the damsel, and spake kindly.
So you see that? Defiled her means that he took her virginity. Doesn't mean he raped her. So Dinah is called the daughter of Leah. Why? Because Leah would come out into the field and talk to Jacob. She was outgoing. She had a very strong person. Dinah was the same way. That's why they call her, oh, this is Dinah's daughter. Okay?
And Shechem spake unto his father Hamor.
Now, Waya, it says Waya Ina. What does Ina or Aina mean? Her, but in Hebrew, it says Wayashakab Afha, and he lay with her Waya Ina, and he humbled her. So it says he lay from the words that we see in the Hebrew. We just read it. Okay? It says, go ahead, finish the portion, and I'll go back and read it when you finish. Shalaka, go ahead.
And Shechem spake unto his father Hamor. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it. And the men were grieved, and they were very wroth, because he had wrought folly in Yash'ala. And Hamor communed with them, saying, the soul of my son Shechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you, give her him to wife, and make ye marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you. And ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be. And Shechem said unto her father and unto her brethren, let me find grace in your eyes, and what ye shall say to me, I will give.
So the scripture says that he lay with her and that he humbled her. But then Jacob he had her in that transitional phrase where he married to him. So that's what the actual defilement was. The defilement was not a rape. Don't say anything about rape in the Hebrew. It says he made her unclean because he took her virginity. She was pure before that. And then it also says that he humbled her. They said he loved her too. So he humbled her, he loved her, and he laid with her. Not a virgin no more, and she's not promised in marriage. And she's not married to the man. So when you lay with that virgin girl and took her virginity and didn't make her your woman, then that woman becomes Tama'ah. And if she doesn't marry you, and that man does not become her husband. So that's what he did to her. They said, can I make her my woman? Because he couldn't just take her. All right, so that's that portion right there. Through 36:19. All right. Now in this portion, Jacob's family moves toward Hebron. Rachel passes away while giving birth to her second biological son. So she never made it to about the babies that got murdered by Herod. It's like Rachel's spirit was crying because of the evil that was happening to our people. She was crying from her grave because of the captivity, the slavery, and the murder. The women of Israel, Rachel being representative of all of us and a representative of the Most High's pain of having to do this to his own people initially, but then the Most High said, look, the same way I had glory, to lift you up, I'm going to have that same gladness to beat you down. All right? So verse 16, verse 12 through 36:19, go ahead.
Ask me never so much dowry and gift, and I will give according as ye shall say unto me. but give me the damsel to wife. And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully, and said, because he had defiled Dinah their sister, sent unto you, if you will be as we be, that every male of you be circumcised, then will we give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. But if you will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then will we take our daughter, and we will be gone. And their words pleased Hamor and Shechem, Hamor's son. And the young men deferred not to do the thing, because he had delight in Jacob's daughter, and he was more honorable than all the house of his father. And Hamor and Shechem his son came unto the gate of their city, and communed with them, take their daughters as to us for wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only herein will the men consent unto us, for to dwell with us, to be one people, if every male among us be circumcised, as they are circumcised. Shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours? Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us.
Mm-hmm.
And unto Hamor and unto Shechem his son hearkened all that went out of the gate of the city, and every male was circumcised.
Right.
And all that went out of the gate of the city.
So all the men got circumcised. Go ahead.
And it came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, took each man his sword, and came upon the city boldly, and slew all the males.
Mm-hmm.
And they slew Hamor and took his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house, and went out.
Okay, so let me stop you real quick for a minute. So they said, get circumcised, and we will join unto you as my people. So they got circumcised, and again, they could have plainly said, we're not going to give you our daughter. We're not going to give it to you, period, end of story. But they made an agreement, and Jacob was with the agreement. Jacob was with, so everything that what Jacob did to Esau, it keeps coming back to him. Because remember, Jacob committed a big sin. He lied to his father. I don't think a lot of people realize how wicked and evil it is in the Most High's eyes for you to lie to your father and to your mother. So Jacob did this. He lied and tricked and almost stole from his father because he pretended he was Esau to get the blessing about Esau, right? So now he lied. Now, Laban lied to him and tricked him several times, right? About Rachel and Leah, about his money, and now his sons are lying, and he keeps feeling the pain of these lying and deception. Just like your mother tell you don't eat some ice cream, your father say don't eat the ice cream, and you be like, well, they're not gonna tell if I just take one scoop and eat a little bit of the ice cream. You eat the ice cream? No. Well, who ate the ice cream? I don't know. You ain't had no ice cream? No. Lying. Tell the truth. Truth always set you more free than a lie will. A lie gonna put you in bondage to the lie. The truth, you ain't in bondage to nothing. You pay your price, and then you finish. You lie, you always gotta keep hiding that lie. You did. I saw you eat the ice cream. You ate it with the brown spoon, the brown handle, and the wooden spoon. And then when you finished it, you rinsed it off. And then you went to the towel and you dried it off and you put it back in the drawer. You see? So you gotta tell the truth. So Jacob lied. He tricked his father, and then his father-in-law tricked him several times. And now that same spirit passed on to Simeon and Levi. They went out and did what? And tricked the Hamites. All right? So now they got tricked, the men got circumcised, and they still trying to murder the men. That's what they did. It wasn't warfare. They made an agreement with people that was at peace with them, and Jacob was at peace with them, and they made a pact saying, we're going to join our people together. Simeon and Levi, they did something that wasn't honorable. and they went behind their father's back without talking to him. You don't go behind the head of the household's back and do stuff that's going to jeopardize the rest of the family. And that's what they did. They went behind their father's back and they killed the whole town, murdered them. It was murder. It wasn't a war. The men had just came into covenant saying that they're going to keep the laws of Abraham. That's why they got circumcised. Right? They got circumcised. So they came into covenant. So they, in essence, murdered the whole town of people that came into covenant with the God of Abraham. That's what they did. So we can't look at this and be like, oh, well, that's cool. And you can't say, well, they had sex with the girl. Well, because y'all men out there have sex with women and women having sex with men when they virgins, moving to other relationships and keep defiling. So I'm looking at Shechem like he did something that was just so terrible. Look what David did. He took a married woman from her husband. So Dinah was single. She was a young woman. She was attractive. And I'm gonna make her my woman. And she was living with the man. She was in the man's house. Then we just read that. What did he do? Read verse 26 again.
And they slew Hamor and Shechem his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house and went out.
If their daughter was being held as a prisoner, why would they make an agreement of peace instead of going to rescue their daughter? What do you think she was doing waiting for Shechem in the house? Think she was sleeping one day? You think Shechem was sleeping in the already went into her and took her virginity. That's what I mean when they say he defiled her. He took her Bathwalaness. She was no longer Bathwalah. So they made a marriage agreement. So when they made that marriage agreement, the family council, they decided that Dinah stayed with Shechem. True or false? True. So who's in the wrong here? Who's in the wrong? Simeon and Levi was wrong. And a lot of you Haitians, y'all be dead wrong and don't want to admit you wrong. Y'all be dead wrong and still don't want to admit y'all wrong. So he laid with her. Jacob and his son said, okay, take my daughter, take my sister, you can make her your wife. And she stayed in Shechem's house. And it says Shechem loved her. It says Shechem was an honorable man. What did Shechem do wrong? Shechem did the same thing wrong that a lot of y'all have done wrong. If you want to say it's wrong. He took the woman without having an agreement for marriage. Before you deal with a woman, before you deal with a man, you need or should is minimized. Okay? All the confusion is minimized. All right, now look what else they did. Keep reading.
The sons of Jacob came upon the slain
and
spoiled the city.
Right.
Because they had defiled their sister.
Because they had defiled their sister. They said, Asherah, Tama'awa, Akyawatham. So it says, Akwatham. So they defiled, meaning she became unclean, took her virginity. Go ahead.
They took their sheep and their oxen and their asses and that which was in the city and that which was in the field and all their wealth and all their little ones and their wives took they captive and spoiled even all that was in the house.
Now, what do you think they did with them women they took captive? Just looked at them? What are grown men cleaning, washing, talking, romancing? They did everything with those women. And they took the children. The male children and the female children, they took them. And they put them into the household of Ya'iquab. They became part of the household of Jacob. You see? Go ahead.
And Jacob said to Simeon,
What did our father Yaakov say? Go ahead.
to Simeon and Levi, ye have troubled me to make me to stink among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites. And I, being few in number, they shall gather themselves together against me and slay me, and I shall be destroyed, I and my house.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, should he deal with our sister as with an harlot?
Should he deal with our sister like a harlot? Said, well, Yah got martyred well. It says, Ha Kazawana Ya Ishao Ath Akwath Nawa. Right? As a harlot should deal with our sister. Meaning laying with her with no commitment. Till afterwards. Afterwards, oh yeah, man, by the way, I think I'm gonna make your sister my wife. Why couldn't you wait to get the father and the brother's input beforehand? You see that? So he said what? He said, Jacob said, y'all shouldn't have done that. And they said, well, he shouldn't have dealt with our daughter, our sister like a harlot. And the same response could have been, well, look, we made agreement with them. You see? Go ahead.
Kalashva Bar Yahweh,
Kalasha Adabar Yahweh,
Naishama Nashama.
Nashawa Nashama,
All the Yahweh said,
all the Yahweh said,
what are we doing here?
we're doing here.
Genesis chapter 35, verse 1. Elohim said to Jacob, arise time that appeared unto thee when thou fleddest from the face of Esau thy brother. Then Jacob said unto his household, and to all that were with him, put away the strange gods that are among you, and be clean, and change your garments, and let us arise and go up to Bethel, and I will make there an altar unto Elohim. And they gave unto Jacob all the strange gods which were in their hand, and all their earrings which were in their ears. And Jacob hid them under the oak which is by Shechem.
So they were still dealing with idolatry. And Jacob knew that he was going to get delivered because Most High promised a little bit, but he had faith in the Most High still. So that's when he said, you know what? Everybody going to worship the God of Israel now. The God of my God. The God of my fathers. All right, go ahead.
And they journeyed, and the terror of Elohim was upon the cities that were round about them, and he and all the people that were with him. And he built there an altar, and called the place El Bethel, because there Elohim appeared unto him when he fled from the face of his brother. And Deborah, his nurse, died, and she was buried beneath Bethel under an oak. And the name of it was called Elon Bakuth. And Elohim appeared unto Jacob again when he came out of Danarem, and shall not be called any more Jacob, but Yasha'Allah shall be thy name. And he called his name Yasha'Allah. And Elohim said unto him, I am Elohim Almighty.
Well, that's Allah Shadia.
Be fruitful and multiply. The nation and the company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins. And the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac to thee will I give it, and to thy seed after thee will I give the land. And Elohim went up from him in the place where he talked with him, and called the name of the place where Elohim spake with him, Bethel. And they journeyed from Bethel, and there was built but a little way to come to Ephrath. And Rachel travailed, and she had hard labor. And it came to pass, when she was in hard labor, that the before she died, that she called his name Benoni.
Which means son of my sadness. Go ahead.
But his father called him Benjamin.
That's son of the south or son of the right. Go ahead.
And Rachel died, and was buried in the way to Ephrath, which is Bethlehem. And Jacob set a pillar.
Okay, that's it. 20, this last one. Go ahead.
And Jacob set a pillar upon her grave, that is the pillar of Rachel's grave unto this day.
All right, so now Remember, Rebecca was the right? Rebecca, Rebecca was the mother of Jacob, right? And when Rebecca came, she had a nurse. Her nurse was called Deborah. So she died. Deborah, Rebecca's nurse, died, and she was buried beneath Bethel. So she was traveling with Jacob. All right. Now they probably had tents made out of black goat hair, has little waxies on it, waxy resin. It expands and it doesn't let the water get through it. So they probably had tents and stuff, and as they traveling and journeying, you know. So remember, Jacob got a bunch of, he got 11 sons, 1 daughter, and, all right. So the nurse died, and they buried her under an oak tree, all right. All right, so that's it. So last portion is the 7th one. It just gives, well, not just, but it gives the princes of the original, the natives of Seir, the people that were in Seir, the Edomites. Hold on, we have verse up there.
Verse 19.
No, I'm sorry, you gotta keep reading, right? You stopped at 36, right? That chapter threw me off. You didn't do it before I did. But not this time around. You reading the 6 aliyah now, right? Okay. All right, so I was looking at that 20, you threw me off. 19. But you stop at, you start reading at verse 12, right?
Last chapter.
Okay, what chapter you in now?
In chapter 35.
Is that where you started reading that?
I started reading chapter 34, verse 12.
Oh man, I think I might have messed up a little bit. So you read 34, all the way to 35:19.
Verse 20. 35.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, you're supposed to stop at 11. Because you're in the 5th aliyah, right? The 6 starting from, you started reading at 34 though?
34, verse 12.
So we read 34 from verse 1, right? Who read that? Dinah. Who read about Dinah? Okay. When you read about Dinah, what did you stop reading? No, maybe 34. You only read 11 verses? Okay, well, go ahead. Keep reading to where you at now?
35:20.
You just going to start reading. Marty, pick up from 21. 35:20. You said you started 34. You started 35:19.
35:20.
All right. So Marty, pick up from there. 35:21. And read to 36:19. Then you're gonna read the last verses.
Genesis chapter 35, verse 21. And Yasha'Allah journeyed and spread his tent beyond the tower of Edom.
Spread his tent beyond the tower of Edom. I'm talking about how he had a large land he was dwelling in. All right, or Edar. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, when Yasha'Allah dwelt in that land, that Reuben went to lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine.
He did this to say that he's gonna be the next in rulership. he was trying to usurp the authority over his father. Go ahead.
And Yashala heard it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12.
Mm-hmm.
The sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and Simeon, and Levi, and Judah,
Mm-hmm.
and Issachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel, Joseph, and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rachel's handmaid, Dan and Naphtali. The sons of Zilpah, Leah's handmaid, Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob,
Okay.
which were born to him in Padan Aram. And Jacob came unto Isaac, his father, unto Mamre, unto the city of Arba, which is in Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac sojourned.
So, Reuben is the Florida natives. Simeon is Dominican Republic. Levi is the Haitians. Judah is the Black Americans. Issachar is Middle Mexico. Zebulun is Southern Mexico and Central America. Joseph is Puerto Rico, as Ephraim, and Manasseh as Cuba. Benjamin is the West Indies, or the Lesser Antilles Islands in the Caribbean. All right. Dan is going to be the Garifuna, Galipuna, Garinagu, Kalipuna indigenous peoples. Naphtali is South America with Argentina and Chile. Okay. Gad is the North American Indians, and Asher are all the other countries in South America, from Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil, Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador, and then parts of French Guyana, and Suriname. Parts of those places also, Uruguay and Paraguay. Those are the tribe of Asher. Go ahead.
And the days of Isaac were 180 years.
So, 180 years old. That's how long Isaac lived. Go ahead.
And Isaac gave up the ghost and died, and was gathered unto his people, being old and full of days. And his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. Kalashra the Bar Yahweh,
Kalashra the Bar Yahweh,
Nasham and Ashman.
Nashama.
All that Yahweh said,
All that Yahweh said,
what we're doing here.
what we're doing here. So they thought that he lived so many years later. And then Jacob and Esau made that peace before the father died. So they made that peace before the father died. Esau no longer wanted to murder his brother. All right. Chapter 36. Chapter 36. Verses up to stop at verse 20. Read verse 20. 1 through 20.
Genesis chapter 36, verse 1. Now these are the generations of Esau,
Mhm.
who was Edom.
Edom is the so-called white man, the so-called Europeans. Go ahead.
Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan.
So Esau and the Hamites mixed in early. That's why the Most High told Rebecca, 2 nations in thy womb. What kind of nation? A red nation. Go ahead.
Adad, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Adad bare Esau, Eliphaz, and Bashemoth bare Reuel,
Mm-hmm.
and Aholibamah bare Jeush, and Jaalam, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau, which were born unto him in the land of Canaan. And Esau took his wives, and his sons, and his daughters, and all the persons of his house, and his cattle, and all his beasts, and his substance, which he got in the land of Canaan, and went to the country because of their cattle. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir.
So Esau left from that area and went into Mount Seir. Go ahead.
Esau is Edom,
Uh-huh.
and these are the generations of Esau, the father of Edom,
So he's the father of the Edomites. Go ahead.
and Mount Seir.
So they lived in a mountainous area. Go ahead.
These are the names of Esau's sons, Ephraim, Gatam, and Kenaz. And Timnah was a concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek.
Amalek was the so-called Europeans who call themselves Jews now, but that's their family lineage. The scripture says that Amalek was going to be the one that was going to be leading all of the nations. So so-called white men call themselves an ethnic group on the planet. So they fit what the scripture says about Amalek. All right, go ahead.
These were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife. And these were the sons of Reuel, Nahath and Zerah, Shema and Mizah. These were the sons of Bashan, Joash, and Jaalam and Korah. These were the dukes of the sons of Esau, the sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn of Esau, Duke Teman, Duke Omar, Duke Zephyr.
Dukes of Hazard. What verse you in?
Verse 15.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Duke Kenaz, Duke Korah, Duke Gatam, and Duke Amalek. These are the dukes that came of Eliphaz.
Which is Al-Wap. That's how you say that, Duke.
Duke Zerah, Duke Shema, Duke Mizah. These are the dukes that came of Reuel in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Bashemath, Esau's wife. And these are the sons of Aholibamah, Esau's wife. Duke Jeush, Duke Jaalam, Duke Korah. These are the dukes that came of Aholibamah.
That's like my tent is high. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I know that white people love going into the top of the icy cold mountains and making tents and staying overnight up there. No. Right, go ahead. Mount Everest and go ahead.
These are the sons of Esau, who was Edom.
See tribes in different parts of the world in the Europe area that have ancestors whose names sound like these people right here, like Zepho. Zepho is say relates to the nations. When you go into what Balaam said about Amalek. He said Amalek was the head of the nation, but its very end shall be that's controlling as the leaders of the nations of the world. That's why the so-called white man got everybody meeting where? In New York City at the United Nations. All right? So next, the seventh Aliyah is going to go into the princes of Edom. He's going to enumerate some of the descendants and just get a little more specific information about these families. So read verse 20 through 43. Which is the last verse of the chapter. Go ahead.
These are the sons of Seir, the Horites, who abandoned
Horite.
Horite, who inherit Shobal and Zibion and Anna. And Dana and Ezer.
And Dishon.
Dishon and Ezer.
Dishon, Ezer, Dishon.
These are the dukes. Album were these Alvan and Mahath.
Did you read verse 22? The children of Lotan were Hori, and Himam and Lotan's sister was Timnah. You read that? I just read it, so go to verse 23.
Ebal, Shifo, and Onan.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the children of Zebulun, both Ajah and Nah.
Anna.
Anah, the this was that Anah that found the muscles in his father.
Mm-hmm.
And the children of Anah were these Dishon and Abalima,
Read that again.
Aholibama,
All right, good.
the daughter of Anah.
Uh-huh.
The children of Azar are these Balaam and Zaman and Zaavan and Akan. The children of Dishan are these Uz and Aran. These are the dukes that Horts, Duke Lotan, Duke Shubal, Duke Zebulun, Duke Anah, Duke Dishan.
So the first one is Dishon. The second one is Dishan. Or if you want to say them in Hebrew, Shon. His name is actually Dashan. Okay? Okay? The other one whose name is Dishan, his name is Dayashan. Okay? So just said it in Hebrew, so we won't be confused with the English pronunciation looking the same. One is Dashan, the other one is Dayashan. All right, go ahead. When you check out the history, you're gonna find names that look like some of these people that say that this is their common ancestor. All right. What verse you in? Chapter 36,
Verse 31.
and we in verse 31. Everybody open their books, please. You got a book to chapter 36, verse 31. You'll find it better, faster moving, flipping more than one page at a time. That's why we got the books here for people to follow and read. When somebody's teaching you and you got a book, a Bible, you need to be looking at the words that they're saying. Number one, so they register in your brain. And number two, so like 3 times today, it's telling me something was inside of a chapter that wasn't there. So I had to look and say, no, that's not there, brother. And show them like, well, this is what it says over in this chapter. It says it 4 or 5 times. It doesn't say. So you gotta look at the book and read the book with your own eyes if you know how to read and if you know what letters look like. So you gotta look at the book so know, get familiar with the words, what they mean, and so you know what's being read, and nobody can try to lie to you and deceive you.
Genesis chapter 36, verse 31. And these are the kings that reigned in the land of Edom before there reigned any king over the children of Yashala. And Bela, the son of Beor, reigned in Edom, and the name of the city was Dinhabah. And Bala died, and Jobab, the son of Zerah, of Bozorah,
Basra.
Basra reigned in his stead. And Jacob died.
Who?
No, Jubal
Right.
died. And
Husham
Husham
of the land of Tabani reigned in his stead. And Husham died, and Hadad, the son of Badad, who smote Midian in the field of Moab, reigned in his stead. And the name of his city was Avith. And Hadad died, and Samlah and Masrekah reigned in his stead. Masrekah, right? It's not Mazadakah. Okay, go ahead.
And Rehoboth by the river reigned in his stead. And Saul died, and Ba'al-Hanan of the son of Achbor reigned in his stead. Achbor died, and Ahadar reigned in his stead. And the name of his city was Pul, and his wife's name was Methabel, the daughter of Matred, daughter of Mizahab. And these are the names of the dukes that came of Esau, according to their families, after their places by their names. Duke
Timnah,
Duke
Alva, Duke Japheth, Duke
Aholabama, Duke Ella, Duke Pinon, Duke Kenaz, Duke Timan, Duke Mibzar, Duke Megdael, Duke Iran. These be the dukes of Edom, according to their habits in the land.
According to their what?
Habitations in the land of their possession. He is Esau, the father of Edom.
So one thing this chapter teaches you is that Esau had a very, just like he has today, very tight government rulership with dukes. And there's people being in charge when this guy died. Here's the duke over here, right? So all of this is government. The government was in order. The people ruled over lands. And when they died, somebody came after them and ruled. Kalashara. Do the long one. Kalashara the Bar Yahweh. What we doing here? So that's just the government outline of how the white man first started to have his people rule, and people under him being ruled too. Jacob asked forgiveness from his brother by bringing gifts before him and humbling himself and bowing down. He never said, "Oh, forgive me, please, brother," but through his actions, he showed he was sorry for what he did. All right. And Esau forgave Jacob because one, everybody knew the prophecy, and his wrath had gotten subsided. He was less angry now. And also his brother showed him, respect. A lot of times you do somebody wrong, man, they just want you to show them respect afterwards, not keep boasting in your wrongness that you've done that person. So Jacob was resting with the angel of Yahweh, a mala'ak, a messenger of Yahweh. His name changing, showing that he don't got to be tricky no more, but now the Most High gonna give him different sources and different powers to rule over situations and people. All right? So Jacob was afraid and distressed. Maybe afraid because he thought he was going to be killed. Maybe distressed because he thought he's gonna, have to do some killing. How did Jacob prepare for his encounter? He sent gifts, he prayed, and he did what? He prepared for war. All right. When the sun started coming up, Jacob's legs started to get healed. So Jacob was hugged by Esau. Why? Because Esau felt sorry for what he was feeling. And he had pity on Jacob when Jacob bowed down to him so many times and sent gifts before him. Okay? The Haftarah, the Hosea 11:7 through 12:12.
Chapter 11, verse 7. And my people are backsliding from me, though they called them to the Most High. None at all would exalt them. How shall I give thee up, Ephraim? How shall I deliver thee, Yasharim? How shall I make thee as Adamah? How shall I set thee as a bow? Mine heart is turned within me, my repentings are kindled together. I will not execute the fierceness of mine anger. I will not return to destroy Ephraim, for I am on high and not man, the Holy One in the midst of thee, and I will not enter into the city.
11. Excellent.
They shall walk after Yahweh. He shall roar like a lion. When he shall roar, the children shall tremble from the west.
Verse 11.
Then shall they shall tremble as a bird out of Egypt.
See, it's showing that the people are going to be taken from out of captivity from the Western Hemisphere. Go ahead.
And as a dove out of the land of Assyria. And I will place them.
So we flew from Assyria. All right. And came into the West. But all of us met up in the West together. The house of Israel and Judah. Go ahead.
And I will place them in their houses.
Houses in the East, in Israel and Jerusalem. Go ahead.
Saith Yahweh. Ephraim compasseth me about with lots, and the house of Yasharim with deceit. But Judah yet ruleth with all height.
See, like Jacob. So Judah took on that characteristic, that vibration of Jacob, more than the house of Israel, Ephraim did. Go ahead.
And is faithful with the saints.
There's going to be no prophet. Like y'all brothers that's teaching about the whole Canaanite stuff. They ain't going to profit nobody nothing, man. Changing Sabbaths, changing ethnicities, all right? Falling after idols, worshiping Jesus Cristo on the cross, worshiping the saints, praying to Santa Muerte, chasing the wind. Go ahead.
And they do make a covenant with the Assyrians, and oil is carried into Egypt. Yahweh hath also a controversy with Judah, and will punish Jacob according to his ways, according to his doings. Will he recompense him?
Will he pay him back? Go ahead.
He took his brother by the heel and the womb, and by his strength he had power with Elohim.
So he had power and strength with Elohim. He could control his spirit and his mind to keep going, even though his hip was broken. Go ahead.
Yes, he had the power over an angel and prevailed.
Right.
He wept and made supplication unto him. He found him in Bethel, and there he spake with us. Even Yahweh, Elohai of hosts, Yahweh is immemorial. Therefore, turn thou to thy Elohai. Keep mercy and judgment, and wait on Elohai continually. He is a merchant that the balances of deceit are in his hand. He loved to oppress. And Ephraim said, yet I am become rich. I have found me out substance. In all my labors, they shall find none iniquity in me.
So the northern kingdom in the America was doing hardcore oppression to their own tribes. the Aztecs, the Mayan. They were oppressing their own people to keep up the rulers. And then they had the peasant and the servant class of their own people, beating them, making them work, making them build these cities, making them build the roads. You can get all that done without beating people. Just be respectful and be civil and share the wealth, but keeping a strong military presence so that people know not to disrespect your rule. Okay? What's that banging?
And that I am Yahweh thy high in the land of Egypt will yet make thee to dwell in tabernacles, as in the days of the Solomon feast. I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. Is there iniquity in Gilead? Surely there vanity. They sacrifice bullocks in Gilgal. Yea, their altars are as heaps in the furrows of the fields. And Jacob fled into the country of
Go ahead.
and for a wife he kept sheep.
Kept sheep for a wife. Was a shepherd. See? All he had to offer was labor. All right, let's go to the book of Obadiah, verse 1 through 2, 1 through 21. So Hosea is talking about the judgment of Ephraim, and it, all right? Obadiah. Got it. All right, so the book of Obadiah. Go ahead.
Obadiah chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith Yahweh Elohim concerning Edom.
So the vision of Obadiah about the Edomite so-called European people. Go ahead.
We have heard a rumor from
The heathen as an ambassador. All right, go ahead.
Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
So the pride of the so-called European heart has made him foolish. He doesn't want to recognize the truth. He can't see it. Go ahead.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
They dwell on the cliffs of the rock, dwell in high places, in the mountains. Okay. Go ahead.
Whose habitation is high.
In the mountains.
Habitation is high.
The Caucasus Mountains.
Whose habitation is high.
The Tarsus Mountains, Taurus Mountains.
Whose habitation is high.
The Swiss Alps.
Whose habitation is
Pyrenees.
high. Whose habitation is
The
high.
Appalachian Mountains.
Whose habitation
The
is
Rocky
high.
Mountains.
Whose habitation is high.
So where all of y'all known for dwelling in the mountains. So-called Europeans, right? They love dwelling in the mountains. And when they can't find mountains, what they do? They're gonna build skyscrapers. They're gonna build skyscrapers up to the sky, like the mountains. Realistic. Africans a little more realistic. All right. Now China knows that Russia, if the white people united against them, they're going down. They know that. Okay.
The
Office.
as the eagle.
The seal of the U.S. Health Department.
As the eagle.
The national bird of America is what?
The eagle.
The Russians use what?
The eagle.
Spain use what?
The eagle.
France use what?
The eagle.
Turkey use what?
The eagle.
So they exalt themselves as the eagle. That is the symbol of the so-called white man in America. The white Russians use what?
The eagle.
They use the eagle. Even though they lift themselves up as the eagle. When they landed on the moon, they said, what? Read that again. The what?
As the eagle,
They exalt themselves as the eagle. Go ahead.
and though thou set thy nest among the stars,
The spaceship went where?
among the stars,
The shuttle went where?
among the stars,
The astronaut went where?
among the stars,
The cosmonauts went where?
among the stars,
The International Space Station is where?
among the stars,
The Challenger tried to go where?
among the stars,
So they went among the stars.
among the stars,
Kennedy where?
among the stars,
NASA where?
among the stars,
So it says among the stars. The eagle among the stars. America in a space program using the eagle as their symbol on all of their departments of government. Go ahead.
then
Now, when they said they nest among the stars, he brought them down. Kennedy, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, all murdered in the same time span. Go ahead.
saith Yahweh,
Yahweh brought them down. Go ahead.
if thieves came to thee,
Uh-huh.
if robbers by night,
Go ahead.
how art thou cut off?
Go ahead.
Would they
That's
not,
still everything. Go ahead.
would they not leave some grapes?
Uh-huh. But the so-called white man, he stole continents. Everybody in North, Central, South America, and the Caribbean speaks his language. That man conquered all of America. So that's what it means when it says what? If thieves came with, they leave something, but he stole everything. He stole Gad and Reuben were living on. So everything. But it says somebody steal grapes. I think I take every grape. He wants everything. That's why he said the world is mine. He wants everything. You hear me? He wants everything. He wants to control every aspect of human existence. He wants to control every religion, every bank, every grain of dirt inside of a country. He wants a say-so in what's going to happen with it. He stole everything. Go ahead. Verse 6.
How are the things of Esau searched out?
Mhm.
How are his hidden things sought up?
So the things he's hidden, you got to dig through books and stuff now. Because he's hidden stuff. He's changed histories. He's changed the world. He's changed names of people. He's changed names of countries. He's changed the faces of people all around the world. So now you got to dig up what he's hidden for so many years, man. He's been hiding stuff. Now we got to dig through just to find out who we are, who he is. Go ahead.
All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even.
What were they fighting over? North-South, Mason-Dixon line, the border, which does slavery start and which does slavery end at? We should make our own country. So he said what? He said the men of your confederacy have brought you to the border, meaning about the EEC or the 10 horns of the European Economic Community gonna fight against America. The scripture says that these shall hate the whore and burn her with fire. And
thee have deceived thee,
so everybody stabbing each other in the back in American international white people politics. Go ahead.
and prevailed against thee.
Uh-huh.
They that eat thy bread and
They that sat down and ate your bread. Go ahead.
have laid a wound under thee.
So the same people he been helping are the same ones that rose up and went against him. And that's the American story all around the world. Go ahead.
There is none understanding in him.
Go ahead.
Shall I not in that day
Huh?
understanding out of the mount of Esau?
Go ahead.
And thy mighty men, O Tamana, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
Uh-huh.
For thy violence,
Spanish, French, British, the Portuguese, the Belgium, the Dutch have done for your what?
Against thy
Change. They decapitated us. They castrated us. They tied us to 4 horses that pulled off our 2 legs and our 2 arms from our bodies. They kept going around hating Hispanics and hating black people as if blacks and Hispanics was doing evil against each other. Bunch of idiots, man. They worried about, oh, you a Canaanite or you a Mongolian, you a Moabite, whatever. They raped and robbed all of your ancestors in every piece of land in North, Central, South America, and the Caribbean, had you in slavery, and y'all fighting against each other like a bunch of idiots. I'm gonna prove that the Latinos are not Israelites. Oh, I'm gonna prove that the black people are really Canaanites. But they ain't bring you to no border. They didn't do no violence against you. Against the North American Indian tribes. You talk against the Hispanic tribes. You talk against the Native tribes. You talk against the black tribes, the West Indian tribes, the Black Caribbean tribes. You talk against them. So your whole theory is, oh, the Canaanites, the Moabites, the heathen. But y'all don't say nothing against the so-called white man. But y'all out to prove that this group is not Israelites. But the Most High say who the enemy is. Go ahead.
shall cover thee for thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
For the violence they did against Jacob, go ahead.
Shame shall cover thee,
Uh-huh.
and thou shalt be cut off forever.
This be cut off forever. I mean, they would never rise up as a nation again. Go ahead.
In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, and the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces.
When you go into Psalms 137, the rivers of Babylon, then it said, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. The children of Edom. But Most High said we're going to reward them as they rewarded us. So you better be worried about the judgment the Most High is going to bring against the so-called white man by the children of Israel, instead of trying to prove that blacks and Hispanics are not. The global uprising is going to be against Esau, Edom, on behalf of the children of Israel. Read.
And the foreigners entered into his gates.
So foreigners came into Jerusalem. Read.
And cast lots upon Jerusalem.
And they cast lots upon us, meaning they were bidding. Who's going to get the most money for this slave here in Jerusalem? Read.
Even thou wast as one of them.
And the so-called white man was helping them do it. They helped the Babylonians. And then after the Babylonians, all right, after the Babylonians wanted to murder us, matter of fact. Under, what's the dude named? Haman, right? Under Haman. Wanted to murder all of the Israelites. Everybody understand that? So they wanted to do that, the Most High preserved us. And then with the Greeks and the Romans again, slaughter the innocents, murder the Israelite babies. Herod. So y'all got to get this whole thing, oh, they Latinos, they heathen, or they black, they from Canaanites. The Most High said was going to happen and who the prophecy is going to pertain to. And if they fit the prophecy, then that's what it is. You can't go into the book of, oh, well, slavery is only supposed to happen to the Canaanites. No, slavery is all about the 12 tribes of Israel. And they said they're going to be taken across the waters to a whole new land as slaves. All right, go ahead.
Verse 12. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger.
So the so-called white man looked upon the children of Israel as strangers when the Romans attacked Jerusalem. I'm sorry, when the Babylonians attacked Jerusalem. They started helping them Gentiles, Shakata. They started helping the Gentiles, fighting against us. Go ahead.
Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction.
Uh-huh.
Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity.
You see that? He telling the so-called white man, you shouldn't have done nothing against the children of Israel when Babylonians attacked them.
Affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity.
So they robbed us. Go ahead.
Neither shouldest thou have cut, neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off.
Go ahead.
Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen.
All the heathen, especially the ones that had a hand in our slavery, captivity. He said, all who?
Upon all the heathen.
All the nations, all the heathen. Go ahead.
As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
Ain't no escaping. America, the so-called white man that done evil against the children of Israel, you're not going to escape your judgment. Each other, as if you the one is, as if the one that you don't like is who this book is talking about. Now, the enemy of the so-called black, Hispanic, Native American, Latino man or woman and child is the so-called white man through his. And you arguing with each other. Who is an Israelite? Who ain't an Israelite? Ain't none of y'all got a pot to piss in or window to throw it out of. Sitting around waiting on a stimulus check. And can't get land yourself together. And when you do get some land, it's in a barren desert somewhere. Like a bunch, mine, my family, my wife, my husband. And what's gonna happen when everything closed down? And y'all ain't got no food growing. You ain't got no water nowhere. And you trying to argue about who is and who ain't an Israelite with each other. With no power from nowhere. The Most High took the power away from our people, man. Ham got power still. And the only reason Ham is really poor and suffering right now is because his leaders are corrupt. It ain't because of the lack of resources. It's like Mexico. Believe them countries are rich with oil, but the leadership is distributing the money amongst themselves and not worrying about the people. But they don't do that in Sweden. And they don't do that in Yemen, in Saudi Arabia. They spread the wealth out to their people. But you sitting on Facebook and YouTube, social media, arguing with somebody, calling them a Canaanite as an insult, calling them a mamzer as an insult, calling them Latino as an insult, not realizing that all y'all are the 12 tribes of Israel. And the Most High got a whole book that he put against the children of Edom, Esau. And y'all don't talk against that. Y'all don't talk about them prophecies. Y'all so busy talking against each other. All right, go ahead. So everything the heathen did to us, so-called the nations that came against the children of Israel, the nations, not the little scrimmages from some little, we had nations that rose up against us. And the Most High said that he gonna punish all of them. Read.
For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. So
all the nations will be like they never even existed, had power. Go ahead.
But upon Mount Zion shall deliverance.
Upon Mount Zion is going to be deliverance. Go ahead.
And there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions.
Go ahead.
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame.
So y'all gonna unite. You so-called black people, Latino, Hispanic, Native American, West Indian, Jamaican, Haitian people that don't like each other, you gonna unite. You're gonna get together. You're gonna become one tribe, one stick again. Go ahead.
And the house of Esau for stubble,
Mm-hmm.
and they shall kindle in them.
So we're gonna burn up who?
Esau.
We're gonna burn up Esau. Go ahead.
And devour them.
We're gonna devour the Edomites.
Meaning of the house of Esau.
All the leadership of that house of Esau is going to be destroyed. It's going to be broken. Their whole government system, their whole political system, their whole economic system, their whole social system, their whole entertainment system, which is part of the social system, is going to be totally rearranged, decimated, destroyed, broken, and torn into pieces. Y'all hear me? So don't even worry about what's going on now. This is all temporary. You following along? He's in 18 now. I go to 19.
And they of the south shall possess the mountains, shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria. And Benjamin shall possess Gilead.
Go ahead.
And the captivity of this host of the children of Yasha'Allah were ladies of the south.
Go ahead.
And saviors.
And what?
And saviors.
And what?
Saviors.
I am the savior. What?
Saviors.
There's no savior but me. What?
Saviors.
Saviors with an S.
Saviors.
So saviors. So the Most High said that he got other saviors that he appointed and anointed to be saviors. So the scripture says there's no savior but me, meaning that there's no individual, because he clearly says there's going to be saviors where?
Shall come up on Mount Zion.
So Savior's going to come up to Mount Zion. Go ahead.
To judge the Mount of Esau.
And we're going to judge the Edomites. Go ahead.
And the kingdom shall be Yahweh's.
The kingdom shall be Yahweh's. Kingdom going to be Yahweh. Okay. Through the Torah and Yahweh HaMashiach as the king over all kings, and King David is going to be the king over all of the 12 tribes of Israel. And Yahweh is going to be king over Israel and the galaxy, the universe. Okay? Let's go to Matthew chapter 2, verse 13 and 23. Hurry up. Get it. No, it doesn't. Matthew chapter 2, verse. Matthew chapter 2. Verse 13 through 23. So, in the book of Edom, Obadiah is telling us that the punishment was going to come upon the Edomites. They chose word the Roman Empire. Okay? So the Edomites, as the Roman Empire, destroyed the temple of Jerusalem. And even though the Roman Empire was powerful, America is powerful, the Most High judgment, we're going to bring them into, make them pay for what they did. We're going to judge their actions, and then we're going to make a judgment on what's going to happen to them for their sins against the Most High and against the children of Israel. All right, Matthew 2:13, read.
And when they were departed, behold, an angel of Allah appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child, be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken of Yahweh by the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt have I called my son. Then Herod was exceeding wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem.
So he slew all the babies in Bethlehem, which Bethlehem wasn't like a big major city, but he slew all the babies of what age?
And all the cost thereof.
The coast.
Coast of thereof from 2 years old, and under.
Because they knew the prophecy was that the Messiah was going to be born in Bethlehem. So all the babies that were 2 years old and under, Herod said, we're going to kill all those babies. We're going to murder the babies, infanticide. And the Greeks used to do this a lot. The Romans did it. Read.
According to the time which he had
Diligently
acquired of the wise men, then was fulfilled that which was spoken by
Jeremiah,
the prophet, saying,
in Jeremiah 31, believe 15. Go ahead.
In Ramah was there a voice heard, lamentation and weeping, and great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children, and would not be comforted, because they are not.
So Rachel representing the right hand of Jacob. Rachel representing the motherhood of the children of Israel. Rachel representing that nourishing spirit of all of the tribes, crying because the children of Israel were being murdered at Bethlehem. Murdered at Bethlehem. Also, when you go to Jeremiah chapter 40, verse 1, they tell you that the children of Israel were being sold as slaves from Ramah also. So this, but using it as a metaphor for the sadness, like a mother seeing her children being murdered and killed, taken into slavery and being destroyed. Imagine you're a grandmother and you see all your grandchildren getting killed before you. How would you feel? If you were a grandfather, you see all your grandsons getting child the Edomite did, because you're trying to, from having a Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach. So he murdered the babies. Go ahead.
Behold, an angel of Yahweh appeareth in a dream to Joseph in Egypt.
So Joseph is hiding in Africa. At this time, the Arabs hadn't taken over Africa. The Arabs didn't take over Africa fully until like the mid 600s. So this is 600 years before any of that took place. So at this time, the Africans there, it's not a bunch of Israelites there yet. It's still dark-skinned, Hamite type people there. Dark-skinned, some of them light-skinned. You know how Kush is. Some of them dark, some of them light. So Joseph and them went into Africa, went into Egypt specifically to hide. And most of our people now can go to Africa and hide. Light-skinned and dark-skinned. You dress like a local, look like a local. You can go to Egypt and hide right now. You can go, right now you can go to Egypt and hide. Just put on clothes like the local people. But Donald Trump and Joe Biden can't go down there and hide. Anybody from Puerto Rico or Jamaica can go to Egypt and hide amongst the people that live in Egypt now. Because people that look like they so-called Latino, they're one of them groups. All right? So they ran into Africa to hide because the king of a territory, Herod, wanted to murder them. So they had to make the best choice. All right, go ahead. So they are dead. So the people that wanted to kill young Yahushua, they were dead. So Yahushua was now not being hunted anymore.
To the land of Israel.
So he did what the angel said. Went to the land of Israel. Go ahead.
But when he heard that Archelaus,
Very good. Archelaus. Judea.
He was afraid to go thither.
So he said, I'm not going to Judea, but go ahead.
Notwithstanding being warned by the high in the dream, he turned aside, and that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet. He shall be called a Nazarene.
So he went into the city of Nazareth, fulfilling prophecy. So his moves was being made in the spirit. All right? His moves was being made in the spirit. Mala'akim was telling him what to do and where to do it and how to do it. All right? Because remember, Nazareth means separated, put apart, put aside. But the city of Nazareth was where he was actually living at. All right, born in Bethlehem, teaching. Nazareth in the north part of Israel. Right, up by like the Naphtali areas, Capernaum and all of that. All right. Simeon and Levi, who should they have talked to before they attacked that city? If there's one person they definitely need to talk to, who was it supposed to be? Jacob. Their father Yaquab. We didn't talk to our father Yaquab. All right. All right. Shalom to everybody. See if we got any questions real quick. So this is the Torah reading. Yeah, we went through that pretty quick, didn't we, Mario? What is that? Pretty good, right? 2 hours like that, don't you? No question, nothing on there. I check that. Check that. No, tap. You know, check. Just tap the screen on that. Comments on there. Questions?
They couldn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hope that improved. All right, so that's what it is. There's a lot of evil spirits going on in Israel now. People don't want to believe in Yahushua, hardly want to believe in the Torah, and don't want to believe in their own brothers, man. All right, so I'm not even tripping because everything's gonna come out in the wash. So whatever y'all brothers are doing, if you think it works for you, if you don't want to think there's a better way, if you want to keep sowing the seeds that you sowing, you will give an account to the Most High for all that you've done, whether good or bad. That's the Torah reading for this week. May Yahweh be with you all. Bashem HaMashiach Yahushua. Hallelujah.
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 All right, so hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end it now, and we're gonna come back and do some prayers. Let me see if I need to bring out any more. Jacob family with the Hebron. Rachel passed away. She got buried. Reuben interfered with his father's marital life. Jacob got the Hebron. Isaac died with his wife, right? Rebecca, and his parents, right? Sarah and Abraham. the Torah lists the wives of the descendants of Esau who left Canaan and settled in Seir. Right now, the princes of Seir. Remember, I want to show you that scripture real quick, where the Most High says that why we say that the Amalekites are the so-called white man. Give me second Ezra. There's the Bible back there with the Apocrypha, the big one back there, on the right-hand side of that thing back there. Just going second Ezra. Give me second Ezra chapter 6, 8, and 9. Second Ezra 6, 8, and 9. What does it say?
Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him.
So Jacob and Esau were born, all right, unto Isaac, right? From the time of Abraham, right? Unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born. Go ahead. Stop. La'ah. Go ahead.
Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
We heard that. We read that in Obadiah too, right? Jacob's hand was holding Esau's heel.
For Esau is the end of the world.
Esau is the last ruling nation. Esau is going to be the last ruler on the planet Earth until who? Read.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
So Jacob is the beginning of the new world. Esau is the last ruler. Jacob is the
Esau is the end of the world.
So the way we're talking about the world is going to be over, the world, he's about to end. He says east of the world, and go ahead.
And Jacob is the beginning.
The beginning, the head, the first, the ruler of what?
Of it that follows.
Of it that followeth. Now, in the book of Numbers, chapter 24, verse 20, it says, and when he looked on Amalek, he took up this parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, meaning he's the head of the nations. But his latter end shall be that he perish forever. So you read, cut off by slaughter, right? The amount of Esau cut off by slaughter. Ain't that what we read? In Obadiah. So Amalek, who's the descendant of Esau, is going to be cut off by the children of Israel. So it says that Amalek is the head of the nations. We're looking in Hebrew. Okay? Amalek was the first of the nations that were first. The first created. The last nation was Israel. No more nations came after Israel. And right before Israel, it means that Amalek was there. Esau was a nation before Israel. They came out as twins. Esau came out first. Jacob came out next. So what do you mean when Amalek was the first? In the Hebrew says, without the shots, to control the power. Was the first of the nations, but his latter end be that he perished forever. So Amalek being the first of the nation of the children of Esau, and then it said what? Esau is the what?
Esau is the end of the world.
So Esau is the end of the world. So Amalek is that family of Esau, Queen Elizabeth, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, the little small town, the little small country. All right, Sarajevo, Turkey. All the white European powers around the world are Edomites. Alexander was Amalek. And some of Amalek tried to trick us and be like, make us think, oh, only Amalek is the fake Jews. No, all white Edomite rulership worldwide, the head of the nations, but he's going to be cut off and perish forever. So when it goes back to talk about the house of Esau in Obadiah, it's actually talking about Amalek. Okay, so that's what it's talking about. All right, so if there's no questions, cool. If there's no questions, we'll go ahead and conclude. Shema Yasha Allah Yahweh Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. Hail Israel Yahweh our power. Yahweh, wabakalna paska, wabakalma adka. And you shall love Yahweh, your power, your God, with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. The tribe of Reuben is the Miccosukee Seminole Indians, and the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and North Central South America, and the Caribbean, and the indigenous peoples. We are the children of Israel. We're the chosen people of the Most High power, and the Most High is going to allow us to take the world back. The scripture says that we're going to take the world. The saints shall take the kingdom. And there'll be no asking, begging, no protesting, no slow shift in American politics. We're going to take the kingdom. All right? Go to Daniel 7:18 real quick. All right, Daniel 7:18, read. The king, just like we read about in Revelation chapter, matter of fact, Revelation chapter 5, verse 10 talks about it. Revelation chapter 1, verse 6 also talks about it. So don't worry about what's going on now in terms of trying to force somebody to see the truth. They don't see it, they don't see it. You just drop the jewels, keep on moving. But you got to be on a scholarly level with this book, though. Scholarly meaning that you're not just quoting verses, but you can go in and actually read the verses and break down the context of it and make it sensible to people that don't understand it. Not just you grabbing verses from 20 books out of context. Now, you can get verses from 20 books that are in context, but we got to be able to break this book down to people to see the light of Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Torah, and salvation. All right, so with that, say Shalom. May the Most High Yahweh